This is Ecclesiastes 7:26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth Yahweh shall escape her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Kol Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Chakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab. I'm Juan back at you with another lesson. And you see the title, all right? These women ain't shit at the end of the day, all right? And I'm gonna try to be as gentle as possible bringing out this lesson, because I know how I can get, all right? But I'm gonna show you a couple videos, and I'll get out some presets while I'm bringing out these videos, all right? A lot of nasty, wicked, filthy, abominated shit. That's all I gotta say. All right. So let's grab. Let me get the collection real quick. The collection Isaiah 32. All right. Let's start off with this one. All right.
You have done some pretty crazy things, like one time swallowing 194 loads in a row. This was filmed in Madrid. The guy tells me, he's like, oh, you're going to have to take some medicine so like the can like properly digest in your system. And also they give you some pills to help with nausea. Yeah, oh yeah. Once they told me it was going to be like 100 and something guys, I was like, oh. The girl just wanting to hold the cup under me to make sure that none of the cup goes to waste. Right. And then whatever was in there, I had to drink it. And let me tell you, not everyone tastes it. Yeah, okay. So you actually got
All right, that's enough on that one. All right.
I didn't feel
that shit is just pure nasty, yo. All right. And now you wonder why these women are so so demented in the brain, right? Because each man that a woman, all right, deals with, they retain their semen in their body and their bloodstream and their DNA. And this is why most of these women are bipolar at the end of the day. You see, just on some nasty that shit is so filthy, all right? And a woman, and the fact that she actually has pleasure in doing it and laughs at it is pretty much why, her death is soon to come. You see, the Lord allows you to have your little pleasure, that you have going on this side. Why? Because you're a reprobate mind. You're not worthy to have the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'll start off with that one. All right. Like I said, I'm gonna make this one nice. All right. Let's grab Romans. Select here. This is Romans 1, and I'll get straight to the point. All right. And it says 26, for this cause Yahweh gave them up onto vile affections. All right. When you go into that word vile, it goes into what? All right. It goes into pure, nasty wickedness, man. Immoral. All right. Having no morals for yourself at the end of the day. All right. And who's the most immoral one on planet Earth? Esau. See, they learn these things from dealing with Esau, because Esau gets his rocks off. You seeing that shit, man, and making our women do things like that. You see, you had a whole guy that offered that basically to her. She probably got offered some money for it, and she jumped at it. You see, and Esau being the most vile upon the earth, as the scriptures say, all right, that they are men that were viler than the earth. You see, so they follow after those ways, man, going all the way back to what? The garden. Eve going back to that garden. Okay. And this is why the Lord said that there's not a more bitter thing than death other than the woman, man. The Lord is comparing these women that are they're being compared to death, and they are more bitter than death. You see, that's why King Solomon, right? He said, out of 1,000 men I have found one, and out of 1,000 women I found none that were righteous. You know, and that's how it is today. That's why most of our women, all right, on this side in America are going to be destroyed. They're going to be part of that 2/3 that get cut off and die. Most of them, you see, there's more women than men on earth. Okay, so let's grab that again. Romans 1:26. For this cause Yahweh gave them up unto vile affections. For even, okay, their women did change the natural use that is which is against nature. Okay. I want to go up to 24. It says, wherefore Yahweh also gave them up to uncleanness. You see, that's very unclean and abominated, man. Filth, through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. You see, and that's what these women do. They dishonor their own bodies. They don't even have respect for themselves no more. You see, I miss those good old days when I'm 40 years old, man. When I was younger, all right, yeah, women were still doing their little wickedness and filth, all right, but they had a certain type of, respect a little bit, and the women before my time, all right, they even had a better respect for themselves. But you see, this generation that we live in right now, man, these women are completely gone. They're completely cooked. There's no hope for them at all. Because look at the things that they do, man, and they think that shit is fun. All right, let's grab that. As a matter of fact, let me finish this at the bottom. Okay, this is 1:32 in Romans. Who knowing the judgment of Yahweh, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. You see, and these women are constantly committing adultery, jumping rod to rod. Okay, adultery gets you stoned in the ancient world, man. The way these women move in this society, man, most of these women would have been put to death already, and we would do it if we could. You see, but because we live in Esau's world, you see, we can't do this shit because Esau protects them, and makes them feel, that they have this gigantic power, and that's why these women are continually walking in that power, to the point where, as the scripture said, that I will compass a woman over a man. These women today, they literally assert authority over men because of the way this social media portrays them to be, that they're powerful, that pussy is power. That shit is wicked as hell, man. And that's why I can't wait till Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai turn up on all these women. You see, that's why most of you women are fucking alone. 30 years old, got no man, 40 years old. If you 40 and 50 years old and you ain't got a man, shit, you gonna turn into bones waiting for him, because you ain't gonna get him. Because the Lord got you there by yourself for a reason, because you're going to be trampled like the mire in the streets in these last days, man. You see, all these men that you were, playing with their hearts and shit, jumping back and forth, making them drive themselves crazy. Okay, they're gonna come looking for you in those days, man, and you are going to be a beach ball being tossed left and right, a little volleyball getting hit left and right with all these men, and it ain't gonna be the men that you desire, the men that you want, that you thought were cute. It's gonna be these nasty ass men, that have intentions, that you done left them with blue balls and shit like that, man. That they gonna go out there and they just gonna come at you in a certain manner, and it's well deserved at the end of the day. All right, let me grab this. This is First Timothy. All right, 5 and 6, and it says, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. You see, so these women in this society is all about living it up. Okay, Well, see, living it up gets you a first class ticket, all right, to being put to death, all right. Like when you go to ShopRite and your ass waiting in a line, you know, to get a couple cold cuts, all right, get you some cheese, all right. And they gotta call your number, all right. Hey man, you're being clocked at the end of the day. You're gonna get a first class ticket to straight death. Now serving number 99. Now serving number 98. And it's just gonna be like that. Okay. Now, let's grab another video. Okay. These women do nothing but use men for what they want. All right, because they some broke ass bitches at the end of the day. Okay. And all they want to do is try to save the money, the little bit of money they have, and they don't even save it for something that is positive. They save it for nonsense, you know, to get their hair done, to go to the club, to try to make that dream vacation, you know, so they could just go swallow everything that comes down their way. Okay, as a matter of fact, now that I said that, let me grab this precept. This is Ecclesiasticus 25 and actually 26 and 12. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when she, as a matter of fact, let me go up one. 2. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. This is why you don't give these women, okay, liberty. If you a man that has a woman, okay, don't give your woman no liberty. She tell you she want to go somewhere, you knock that shit. Because you have found what? Uncleanness in her. Because the moment you give these women liberty, you give them a half an arm, right? You give them up to your elbow, they want the whole entire arm. They're not satisfied with what they get. And women are all about having fun. Goes into that all the time, man. You know, girls just want to have fun. So wherever the party's at, wherever the fun is where these women gonna be at. As soon as your ass ain't bringing no more fun to them, that's it. Party's over. They don't want nothing to do with you no more. You see? So let me take it up again. It says, I'll take it up 1. It says, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. They rent their face, right? As the scriptures say. They paint their face with witchcraft because that's not really what they look like. You know, they put these little mascara cat eyes on with eyeliner to draw you closer to them, you know? And this is why you men, all right, are not supposed to go after beauty because beauty is vain. You see, behind that beauty, there's a sucker, another sucker ready to be played at the end of the day. All right. So it says, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and her eyelids. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Watch over an impudent eye and marvel not if she trespass against thee. You see? And if she play you out and trespass against thee, you better not sit there and be dumbfounded like, oh my God, I can't believe she did this. The Lord already told you these women is the most wicked thing on planet Earth. All right, next to Esau. And they're even worse than Esau in these days, man. Okay? That's why the Lord said, through the beginning, through the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Okay? She is literally the creator of sin for our people, man. You see? Next to Esau, which we know that's the true man of sin, but he fed that philosophy onto her in the garden, and she fell for it. You see? Going back to the garden when he told her that she could be a god. That's why these women have that are in that feminism state now, because that serpent is still whispering in their ear, letting them know that you have this power over men. Okay, and the whole time you've been fooled. All right, because the Lord is to literally rain destruction upon each and one of y'all. All right, from your toenails all the way down up to your wig, to your wiggy ass. You see, the Lord is literally about to just show you what true destruction for a woman is about. Okay, it says she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he has found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. By every head she will sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. You see, so pretty much every man that comes across these women, they'll try to find a way to deal with you. You see, for whatever it is, they'll find a way, for something that benefits them, and they'll sleep with you just to get whatever they want at that moment. Again, the moment you don't have something to offer, she not gonna deal with you. She gonna move on to the next one. You see? So now let's go back to this one.
What's up? Why do you have my phone? Why I got your phone? You wanna know why I got your yeah. Why are you recording me? Like, what are you doing? What's the problem? Food good. The fries are good, but why do you have my phone? I'm trying to understand. So when you was in the restroom, it kind of took you a long time. So I decided to call you while you was in the restroom. It took me a long time to go to the bathroom. No, it took you a long time. So I called you, and when I called you, can you ask me why my name came up in your phone under free meal number 3? Free meal. So that's what I am? It's not even all of that. Why are you tripping? I'm free meal number 3? Why are you tripping? Why, like, I don't understand. I'm free meal number 3. Why are you recording me? Can you please put the camera right now? So I'm free meal number 3. Just means that's what you say me. You say me in your phone as free meal number 3. You like to eat out with me, but you save me phone as free meal number 3. Every time I've been asking you, wait a minute, I've been asking you, hey, can we go to the movie? Can we go to the fair? Can we go anywhere? Only where me and you go, only where me and you go, Shemaine, is eat. We go out to eat. That's the only place me and you go out to eat. I'm a foodie. You're a foodie. Okay, you thought we was better than that? And you got my name saved in your phone under free meal? Go out and eat with you. Shemaine, you got my name saved as free meal. Oh, you like to eat, huh? Okay, well, you better make this your last time eating.
He end up leaving her ass, right? Let's get this precept, right? This is Proverbs, right? Salakia. Proverbs 30 and 20. It says, such is the way of an adulterous woman. All right. And that's exactly what she was. She was an adulterous woman, jumping from rod to rod. All right. He was number 3. So there was a number 2 and a number 1, possibly up to 5. You see, then she got one for to hit the club with for free drinks, free drink number 1, free drink number 2. Then she got, Mr. Rod me all night number 1, Roddy Piper number 2. Okay. So it says, such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and saith, I have done no wickedness. And that's what this girl, that woman was just doing. She was like, well, I don't see what's the problem. I don't understand why you recorded me, because you wicked as hell. And you're being exposed to the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You see? The Lord put the spirit on him to pick up that phone, to make him call you, all right? Because he was already curious about it. And look what came up. And now he exposed you. Now you don't want to be exposed, because it's going to mess up your little dreams with the rest of the men that you got. You see? And that's what a woman does. She's about no accountability. Even when they're wrong, dead ass in their face, and you got all the proof, they still can't account for it, man. That's the worst thing you can ever do as a woman, is not account for the shit you just did when you just got caught. You see? So the Lord had her exposed at the end of the day, right? Now let's go to this video. Okay. Matter of fact, before I go to these other videos, right? Let me read. This one was actually crazy as hell. This was something that came up on my news break. All right. This one, where is it at? Oh, I ain't even gonna read the article. The title of this article headlines says it all. Baby found dead in swing after dad abandoned her to avoid drama with the mom. You see that? The baby was found dead in the swing after the dad abandoned the baby to avoid drama with the mom. You see? And hey man, that's why the scriptures tell you, all right, the portion of a wicked woman is given to the portion of a wicked man. You see, this is why you as a man, all right, have to get right with Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, because that's your true, this truth is your true woman. You see, this is that woman that'll never fail you. This is that woman that will stick by your side through thick and thin. You see, this is that woman that's there to support you, to pick you up when you down and the world is against you. You see, but I don't even have to read that whole entire article, and I could tell and feel for this man that he probably was going through straight hell with this woman to the point that he just said, fuck this baby, I'm gonna leave this baby here because I ain't even trying to hear this woman right now. And look at the consequence. Somebody that had nothing to do with nothing, okay, had to pay the consequence for it, man. Had to suffer for that. You see? Now, all three of them probably going to jail. Well, Salaki, both of them probably go to jail. Okay. And the kid, the baby, all right, back in the spirit world, man. Mad as hell, like, damn, man, they done abandoned me. You see? And it was probably because that woman was always up this nigga's ass. All right. She probably was doing whatever the hell he wanted. I mean, whatever she wanted, and leaving his ass at home with this baby, man. And then when she come back home, after he done took care of her, or he, the baby, all right, still got to hear her nonsense. You see? That's why the scriptures tell you, let's grab this. All right. This is Ecclesiasticus 25 and where's it at? 16. It says, I'd rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. The wickedness of a woman changeth her face and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. Her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it, shall sigh bitterly. You see, that's exactly what that brother was going through, man. It says all wickedness is little, but to the wickedness of a woman, let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. You see? It says, as the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. You see? These scriptures don't lie when it comes to these women, man. Zerubbabel, right, which was King David, right, said it best. Wine is wicked, the king is wicked, women are wicked, and their children is wicked, man. Most of these children that are of the multitude that are born in vain is because their mothers were wicked as hell, man. All right, those were children of unlawful beds. Let me grab that. All right. This is Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 6, and it says, give me 1 second. It says, for children begotten of unlawful beds are witnesses of wickedness against their parents in their trial. You see? And here it is that the children have to suffer for it, man. You see? But all you doing is just creating, all right, monsters, little test tube babies, man. Because you as the woman and you as the man really had no connection, no real connection between each other. You see, we're supposed to love our wives as men, all right? And you women supposed to deal with one man. That's it. You're not supposed to be jumping rod to rod, man. All right, unless that man gives you a bill of divorce, and even if and if he dies, okay, you're really supposed to move on to his brother if you didn't continue a legacy with him. You see, but that's too deep for these women. They don't understand that. Okay. And if you are a woman that has a man and he doesn't give you a bill of divorce, okay, which these women, man, you might as well give them a bill of divorce all day long, all right, because from the gate, give them one, just in case, because these women get uptight. I dealt with a woman years back. That girl, oh my God, Ann was in the truth. She wanted a damn bill of divorce every 2 seconds for couldn't duke it out, had no faith. Something didn't go her way. It was, oh, you gave bill of divorce, the bill of divorce. You see? But if they don't give you a bill of divorce, you're supposed to reconcile back to your husband, man. You're supposed to go back to your husband. But see, these women want to have fun. They want to continue to move on to the next one, trying to search for something better. And that's why they ass is as old as hell, still searching. you know, because as wicked as you are, the Lord is giving you a wicked ass man every time. So you get a man that's really not about you. You see, he gonna end up playing you out. He gonna end up cheating on your ass, which literally it ain't cheating. All right. Hey, these women still can't wrap their head around, polygamy. We're supposed to literally be having multiple wives. All right. And that's how you really test a woman in this truth. Speak about another woman. See if she really down about it. See how she get, you know. Let alone these women that are not of the truth. You can't mention none of that around them because they've just figured, all right, well, if he could do it, I could do it. But if you have a woman in this truth, I'll tell you straight up, you want to test her, is she real? Start mentioning other women, and see how she really get at the end of the day. All right. So again, Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 6, for children begotten of unlawful beds are witnesses of wickedness against their parents in their trial. Okay. Now, let's go back to this video. All right. This is what adultery gets you. You will be exposed by the Lord, man. So I don't know if you could have seen, if you saw it, all right. But basically, it says boyfriend caught his wife cheating and put Nair in her hair shampoo. Put Nair hair remover in the bottle of shampoo, and now she want to cry, all right? Because, now she got to put on 3 wigs, just to cover that up, all right? And at the end of the day, that wasn't even her boyfriend. Shalom, sister Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Barakatah. That wasn't even her boyfriend that did that. That was Yahweh Bashim Yahushua that did that. You see? Because the Lord will discover your secret parts when your ass is doing wickedness like that, man. Committing adultery. You see? I'll tell you straight up, most of these women that you see, all right, and most of them be Judites, all right? But you have the Northern Kingdom also, a lot of Dominicans, which they're very adulterous, okay? You have other ones, all right, that are of the Latino tribes, right? Most of these women that you see that have no hair, do not let them fool you. They'll sit there and say, like, I just wanted to try a new look. Bullshit. The Lord made their hair fall off, man. Because if you're a man of the Lord, that's already a red flag. Woman ain't got no hair, that's a red flag. She an adulteress. You see, because the glory of a woman is her hair, as the scriptures say. So when you don't have hair, there's nothing to glorify in. You see, and the Lord will expose you. All right, let's grab this. This is Isaiah 3, and I'll get straight to the point. Okay, Isaiah 3, and it says Judah's women denounced 3 and 16. Moreover, the Lord Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes. You see, this is what these women do. They walk with, like they're elegant, like they somebody. Okay, and the scriptures say, if anybody think themselves to be somebody, they deceive them themselves when they are not. They're nothing. Okay, that's walking around in pride. You see, that's why great miseries is going to come to these women in these latter days, because they've walked in great pride. All right. It says, haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes. Yeah, these women will have men walking with their man and still be looking at another man. That's wanton eyes. Walking with your stretched forth necks, all right, is when these women had their little attitude and they waving their neck back and forth like they like if it's about to fall off, like a little bobblehead, you know. The Lord don't approve of those things, man. And when you walk in that pride, the Lord exposes you, right? It says, walking and mincing as they go. Yeah, twerking that ass left to right, with some tight ass jeans or some tight ass, tight pants, spandex, whatever you want to call it. And make a tinkling with their feet. Yeah, they walk around with their little, with their nice little shoes. They Gucci Pradas on, That's what these women are about. They're all about fashion. Okay. It says, therefore, the Lord Yahweh Shai will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion. And the Lord Yahweh will discover their secret parts. You see, and that's why you saw that woman literally bald-headed as hell, because the Lord exposed her of her wickedness because she was committing adultery. Okay. It says, in that day, the Lord Yahushai will take away the bravery of all their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their calls and their round tires like the moon, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel. These women got a whole wardrobe full of different clothes, different shoes and sneakers, and going out what do you call them, high heels, and half of that shit they don't even wear. That's the crazy part. All that shit in their damn closet, all right, and they don't even wear half of it. They still choose to wear the same shit that their girlfriends tell them, oh girl, you look cute in that. Wear that about 100 times this month. You're gonna pull something with that. That's and that's the worst, when these women get together. It's like they grow a one big giant brain together, to come up against the men of the world, and plot on your ass and scheme on your ass. And especially you so-called Negro and Latino men, you see, because their job, if you know the Willie Lynch letters, all right, they're used to weaponize and demonize the man, the Israelite man at that. And then they go deal with these other nations, which that's a sin. When you know the story of Simeon and Levi, they went and killed a whole entire town, slaughtered a whole entire town, because their sister was defiled by sleeping with a man that was from another nation. You see? And you see that today heavy. They run to these East Edomites, because they have the money. These Edomites will pretty much give them anything they want just to throw it in you Israelites' faces. You see? And that's why these men today rather go deal with these other women of these other nations, because these women are feminine. You see? They are in their order, a lot, way more in order than the women of our own kind. You see? They become passport bros and passport unks. You see? And it's very well needed, because we don't need none of our Israelite women. The Lord could make us deal with these other women, and we could continue our legacy through them. You see? So it says, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crisping pins, the glasses, the fine linen, the hoods, and the veils. Okay? Yes, yeah. I thought I changed. I thought I skipped one. And then it says, and instead, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And that's why most of these women, all right, they box smells. It's horrible smell, horrible stench. They're eating abominated foods, you know. Esau out there buying them the most expensive crab meat, you know. Where here it is, the crabs, the lobsters, the shrimps, everything that they eat, that shit is abominated food because that's the roaches of the sea. You see, they are the ones that clean up literally the bottom of the ocean. And I can imagine when they eating it, the damn shrimp itself is saying, damn, this bitch stink. They don't even want to clean their asses up, you know? So they cooch, okay? Literally smells bad because all these different DNAs that they have inside of them of these different men. All right. It says, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well set hair, because the woman's glory is her hair. Instead of well set hair, baldness. You see, you come out looking like Jada Pinkett Smith. Okay. That she's still trying to grow her hair back. And the Lord exposed her for her wickedness. You see? And that's what happens to the rest of these Judite women. All right. These Northern Kingdom women. Okay. The ones that really got their hair still is the Native American Indian women. You know, but I'm sure there's some out there that have been exposed. Okay. It says, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth and burning instead of beauty. You see? And that's what's gonna you know, at the end of the day, that's what most of these women gonna end up taking. You know, a missile to the face. All right, because most of these women gonna line up for that MLTB, that Rice Krispie treat, because they're gonna want to go back to their life that they once had, that they were once ruling. They're gonna be Lot's wives. You see? They're going to be Job wives. You see? They're going to literally be cursing out the Lord. All right? That's why the scriptures tell you in Micah 7 and 10, all right? She that is thine enemy, you see, shall see it. And basically what? She's going to be trodden like the mire in the streets. Okay? They're going to look back. There's going to be hey, again, if the shoe fits, you wear it. For you women that's supposed to be, that are doing what you're supposed to do in silence, okay? Literally in silence, you know? And you're dealing with no men, all right? Absolutely. The Lord gonna bring you to a man of the Lord, you see? But there are a lot of women that claim to have this truth, all right? And they really don't, you see? Those are gonna turn into Lot's wife. And you're gonna see when that time comes that they're gonna look back at the world. There's gonna be something they're gonna miss, you know? That's why you sisters that are in sincerity and truth, hey, just keep praying on to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Keep being silent, you see? Keep being humble, you know? Read Esther. Esther was a humble woman. She done put ashes and shit on top of her head when she was a whole queen, you see? You stay in that spirit, okay? You're going to be perfectly fine, you know? But for those that are in the truth and you have that little thought in the back of your mind of wickedness, best believe the Lord gonna expose that, all right? And you're gonna turn into a Lot's wife and you're gonna be left over here, you see? So let's go to this one. This is, give me 1 second. I got 3 more videos. And then I got them precepts and close it out. This is, I gotta go to my messages for this one. Where is it at? Okay. Now, this is something that you women in this truth should never have. All right. Do not have no jealousy for another woman. Okay. You know, men are supposed to have multiple wives. So enjoy it. Okay. Encourage it. To have sister wives is actually a beautiful thing. You know, we all work together, and in a time like this that we're in, shit, you know, things will be a lot easier. You know, but a lot of women can't get past that. That's one of the biggest things that these women in the truth don't have, is getting past that little part right there. you know, and that little part could be your doom, you know, or the Lord can have mercy on you, you see. But that's a big thing because that's what's coming to the kingdom. So there's no such thing as you're number one. Okay. When we're in the kingdom, we're not going to look at who's number one. We're going to look at each other as a big family, you see, because we're going to be, you know, being fruitful and multiplying for our legacy. You see, for us to have children and have nations come out of our children. You see, we ain't got the way we have sex in these days is not the righteous way. People just do it for pleasure, man. But sex was created for you, yeah, to have a little pleasure with your wife here and there, but it's really for you to create a legacy, man. All right. So check this out.
Oh, okay. They told me not to fold this laundry. Yeah.
It's a lot, yeah.
Oh, okay. They told me not to fold this laundry. Yeah. They told me not to pay for dates. Take me through there. Take me through there.
Okay, y'all, hear me out, okay? Hear me out real quick. There is a video trending online right now. There is a nice looking woman with a beautiful red dress on and a small Gucci purse in a restaurant flaunting a ring, right?
And I'm going to tell you right now.
Told me not to make his lunch.
And I'm going to tell you right now, she is straight up hating from the grip already. She tried to, this is what women do. Oh, this is a nice, beautiful woman with a beautiful red dress. Okay. But that's what she's going to come with. All right. Because the lady said, they told me not to do his laundry. They told me not to cook for him and fix his lunch. They told me not to do this. And look, I got a ring. Because that's what your ass is supposed to do as a woman, man. You're supposed to cater to your man. You see? In every way possible. Make your man happy. All right. Be his peace and be not his headache. Okay. And you will be rewarded. Now, he ain't supposed to bow down to no woman and give him no damn ring. Okay. Because that's going against the laws, man. There were certain ways that we used to do we had our own customs when it came to us marrying a woman. All right. Which sex is marriage at the end of the day. All right. But that's a whole nother topic. Okay. But we had to have a ceremony. You know, there had to be a certain cloth, you know, involved. All right. You're not supposed to make covenants with the heathen by standing in the church and bowing down to your woman, okay, and giving her a damn ring. All right. When them rings go back to the rings of Saturn, it goes back into devil worshiping, Queen of Heaven spirit, you know, it gets deep. All right. But when you do what you're supposed to do as a woman, the Lord will reward you with a good man that's going to take care of you, man. You see?
They told me with a beautiful red dress on and a small Gucci purse in a restaurant flaunting a ring, right? And she's like, they told me not to make his lunch. They told me not to do his laundry. And now I got a ring. Not saying that there's anything negative about that, but let me think logically.
There goes that butt.
My mind instantly has no choice but to think critically, okay? So I'm thinking like, as a woman, I view myself in a high standard, right? And I personally don't understand why women, when they talk about being married or getting proposed to, is always what they're doing to show the man that they can be a wife and a good wife. Like, I cook for him, I clean for him, I wash his, like, damn it, do you wipe his ass too?
And that's very true, though. You see, because men are the prize. You women ain't the prize. Okay. See, when the man is the prize and he checking to see if you right for him. See, that's when the woman becomes the prize also with them. You see, you both shine together. You see, but at the end of the day, as the scriptures say, I will make a man more precious than fine gold. So the Lord already told you that the man, all right, is the prize. The Lord said that his tabernacle is with men, you see, showing you throughout the scriptures that everything was always going back to a man. You got a couple women that are referred to in the scriptures, and this is why we say the few Aquath are going to make it, all right? But at the end of the day, everything is mentioned of the man, you see? Everything is given to the man, you know, by the house of their fathers. 1 and 18. The man, you are what your father is. It's not about what your what the wife is. Okay. There's no such thing as I'm half my mother and half my father. No, you are what your father is, because it's about the man. You see, it's about his lineage, the houses of their fathers. All right. The woman just bears seed, man. She's just a pouch to carry a baby in. Okay. But again, if a woman does what she's righteously supposed to do as a Proverbs 31 woman from 10 on down, okay, it's going to show. There's no need for you to act like you a certain caliber, all right, and speak on it. It's going to speak for itself. You know, you got women talking about caliber when, nigga, we ain't even in the damn kingdom yet. So how the hell is you a certain caliber, man? If even ourselves as men haven't even made the damn kingdom yet. You see? We don't even know if we're that caliber to the Lord. That's a very prideful thing to say as a woman. Okay? So, matter of fact, let me grab 2 precepts to back this up. All right? Because this woman, as the scriptures tell you in Job, the woman was deprived from wisdom. There's a reason why she was deprived from wisdom. Because when she had wisdom, okay, she tried to assert authority over the man, you know, and then came with her philosophy. Okay. And that's why, let me just grab this. This is Proverbs 9:13. A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. You see, that woman didn't know shit what she was talking about. That's why she was stuttering between. She didn't know what to say, because she know her ass wasn't making sense, man. She's just another jealous ass woman. All right, which you women are not to be jealous of other women. Okay, let's grab that real quick. Ecclesiasticus 26 and 6. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicateth with all. You see? So the Lord telling you, do not be jealous of these other women, man, because why? We're supposed to have multiple wives, man. You see? Y'all all supposed to come together, all right, and be sister wives and be in unity with your man. You see? Because y'all have all gained a prize, and the man found you worthy to be in his life. You see? Let's grab this other precept. This is Job 39 and 17. Because Yahweh has deprived her of wisdom. That's why she is simple and she knoweth nothing. Because Yahweh has deprived her of wisdom, neither has he imparted to her understanding. And that's why most of these women can't get it. As many times as you tell them, they still don't get it. You see, because they have no understanding of the scriptures. They are not knowing the scriptures. You see? But when a woman does what she's supposed to do as a Proverbs 31 woman, all right, she will fatten in the bones of her man. Okay, as the scriptures tell you. Let me grab this real quick in Proverbs 31, which that was actually in Ecclesiasticus, but I want to grab Proverbs 31. All right, I'll bring a couple of scriptures out of that. All right, 10 says what? Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies, if you can find one, you know. And what did the Lord say? All right. What did our Lord Yahweh Shai say when he was Solomon? Out of 1,000 men, I have found one, and out of 1,000 women, I have found none that were worthy, that were righteous. Okay. So showing you that most women are evil, man. It says the heart of her husband does safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. And that's what your job is as a woman. You're supposed to be sewing up garments, sewing up clothes, you know, cooking up in the oven, cooking a storm up in the kitchen. You see, teaching your young ones, your young women to be submissive unto men. You know, taking care of the babies at home, taking care of the household. That when we men work all day or we're out teaching all day doing the work of the Lord, we come home to peace, man. A place of you know, of relaxedness. You see, it's our little safety home, man. You see, we could come home and just kick back after a long day, you know, and vibe and chill and vibe with our woman. Have a little, you know, little wine, you know, little laugh and giggles, cuddle it up, you know. But if you being wicked as hell, why you know, you're gonna be like that? You're gonna be like that couple. That nigga done left his baby in the damn in this swing, all right. And look what happened. The baby ended up passing away all because he didn't want to deal with his wife, man. You see? It says, let me jump down a little bit. It says, 23, her husband is known in the gates. Meaning what? That he has this truth. He is known at the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. Okay? It says, 26, she opened her mouth with wisdom. And the only time she opens her mouth is when she's speaking with other women. See, women are supposed to teach other women. They're not supposed to teach men. They're not to teach these scriptures to the world. Okay? You teach them to other women in this truth. Okay? And she's going to speak wisdom because the man that she is with, you see, has the wisdom. He's a man of the gates that sit among the elders. So he has trained her mind and taught her the righteous ways. So therefore, she is in those righteous ways. She's in that righteous talk. You see? Shalom Malak Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah Barakatah. Okay? It says she opened her mouth in wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Yeah, because see, that's why these women get caught up, because when they're idle, all right, idleness leads to sin. Let's grab that real quick. Idleness. This is in Ecclesiasticus. All right. Where is it at? Much idleness. Ecclesiasticus 33 and 27. Okay. And this is speaking of a man at this moment. All right. But it pertains to the same thing of a woman. It says, send him to do labor that he be not idle, for idleness teacheth much evil. You see? So it's the same thing for a woman, man. If you let her be idle and not, you know, doing the work of the Lord, all right, that idleness is going to teach her to be wicked in her mind, man. It's going to teach her much evil. She going to pick up on something that's wicked as hell. You see? And then next thing you know, she's doing something that's sinful and abominated, all right, before the eyes of the Lord, all right? The brother Daniela got Titus 2 and 3, okay? And it says, the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers. And that's what a lot of these women are, false accusers, all right? And they false accuse their men just to be able to go and do their wickedness, just to get out of the house. You know, they'll accuse this man of doing this and that just so they could get out the house. Well, I'm leaving. I'm going to go have me a blast tonight, you know, just to go do some wickedness. Not giving it too much wine, you know, literal wine and drinks, okay? But also meaning what? Not letting her get caught up in philosophy. Teachers of good things, okay? It says teachers of good things, Titus 2 and 4 now, and it says that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, and to love their children, okay? To be discreet, chaste. You see, you're supposed to be disgraced. Salakia, discreet. See, that's what I meant with these women back in the day. They were still being wicked. They were still doing wicked shit, but at least they did that shit being discreet. These women nowadays, it's just all in the open. Hey, scripture say that. They have no shame. Okay? Let's grab that real quick. All right? This is Ecclesiasticus. Excuse me. 25. All right? I mean, Salakia, 26 and where's it at? Where's the one I'm looking for? I know I'm passing right by it. I'll grab 15. This is one of them. It says a shame. No. Actually, that's a good one for a woman. That's a Proverbs 31 woman. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind, all right, cannot be valued. Okay. The one I'm looking for is 25. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, and that's why you women are called bitchs in these days, man. But she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. See, these women are shameless, man. They do what they do, all right, without any shame, without a care in the world. All right. This is Proverbs 14:1. Every wise woman buildeth her house. Woo! But the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. You see? Will have something good and they'll destroy it. Okay? He said, this is the spirit right now. Literally right on time. Exactly. The Lord is always on time when you need to hear it the most, you know? And these women, all right, let's grab this one. The brother got 26 and 14, all right? It says a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, Yahushai, and there is nothing too much worth as a mind well instructed. You see? And see, you try to instruct these women, all right, and they take it for, oh, he's too demanding, he's too possessive. What you mean? We're instructing you in a righteous manner. We're giving your ass good advice so the Lord don't destroy you. All right? You are our possession. That's why we become possessive over our possession. You see? What did the scripture say? He that getteth a wife getteth himself a possession, a help like unto himself, a help me. That's what a true help me is. You know? She's going to be submissive unto you. And if the man is going off and he a man of the Lord, believe he will come back and tell you, listen, I was off, my bad, you know? And he'll find even more favor in you that you kept your end of the, the end of the, I don't want to say the bargain, all right? But the end, on your end, you kept it right. You kept it righteous with him, you see? You kept your mouth shut, you see? And he gonna come and, hey, man, the Lord gonna reward you for that, you see? It actually will draw you closer to your man, and your man will draw closer to you. You see? Because that'll turn a man on. Seeing you be righteous and instructed and you take it and be submissive with it. Shit, you be popping babies all night. You know? So, let's go back to this video. Okay? Bro, this is the greatest tip on. Of course. Hold on. I gotta go back into it.
Wife and a good wife, it's always what they're doing to show the man that they can be a wife. And a good wife, I cook for him, I clean for him, I wash his, damn it, do you wipe his ass too? Are you his fucking caregiver? Are you his mama CNA and all that shit? What did he do for you? Okay, why do women never think, instead of wanting to be validated and chose so bad, do y'all ever sit up and think
you see how stupid she just sounded, that she just started stuttering? She didn't even know the Lord was trying to stop her from talking. Bitch, you talking too much. You sound stupid as hell. Because isn't that what all women want? Since you little ass girls, you already have that. I want a Prince Charming, and you're trying to be this perfect princess to the Prince Charming, right? But now, because Meg Stallion and Cardi B told you otherwise, now you want to be in that whole type of mindset like them. You want to just walk around and be whores all day, man. You see? Beautiful scripture. All right. Genesis 3:16. Then he said to the woman, I will sharpen the pain of your pregnancy, and in pain you will give birth. All right. This is why you women have these birth pangs, right? This is why you women have your period the way you have it. Okay. Because it's a punishment onto you women. You see? And it says, and you will desire to control your husband, but he will rule over you. You see? Your desire is to have your man control you. You see, these women that are whores, best believe this is why they want to have a nigga that take control over them. But see, the niggas that's taking control of you are wicked as hell. They're not righteous men, and you like that control that they come and give you, slapping your ass around, ganging up on you with 3-4 niggas, talking about you don't want to be raped, but you want this nigga to grape the shit out of your ass, in a lustful sexual manner, showing you that that's what you women really want. But it's too boring for you from a man of the Lord. You see? That man of the Lord is too possessive and too demanding. You see, but that's what's going to get your ass left here in Babylon the Great. This is why you're going to end up burning out here, man. Okay? Beautiful scripture. That's right. That came out to the Spirit twice. All right? The beginning of sin came through a woman, and through her we all die. Okay? Yep. 1 Timothy, right? 2:14. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. You see? Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing. That's the only way you women gonna make it out of here, man. It's through a man of the Lord, and it's gonna be for childbearing, for us in the kingdom to be able to continue our legacy. You see? And you should be happy with that, because you're gonna be part of the first fruits in the kingdom, all right? And you're gonna have everything that man has, man. You thought that you had it good on this side. In the kingdom, you're gonna have the best of the best. True happiness. You see? Without a complaint in the world, man. You ain't never gonna hear a woman complaining again in the kingdom. All right? Y'all gonna be living happily ever after, okay? With all your sister wives, encouraging the next one to come join. You see? And it's all going to be done in righteousness. See, you women hear multiple wives, y'all thinking that we just sitting in our beds and laying down with all our wives at one point, and then we having one big orgy fest. That's not how it rolls, man. That's not how it's done. You see? That will be wicked as hell and unrighteous to the Lord. You see? You're supposed to deal with each of your women individually. You see? But you're not supposed to love one more than the other. Okay? See, all these precepts coming out through the Spirit, which already came out. All right. All wickedness is but the little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. Okay. That's why most of you niggas out here, all right, that think you got the shits, right? They think you somebody. You have all these hoes, but really the hoes that you got, they all wicked as hell. Ain't none of them righteous women. None of them could be trusted. That's why you always looking for the next one. Because the one you just dealt with, yeah, she might be fine as hell, bad as hell, all right? But she can't be trusted because she looking at your mans. She trying to find out what your boy is about. You see? Let's finish this one up.
Is this man worthy enough of me to take myself off of the market? Holy
shit. When I heard that shit, I was like, get the hell out of here, man. And that's the mentality of these women, that they really sit there and think, is this man worthy for me to take myself off the market? Like, really? So now the only thing I know that you find in markets, right, is fish. You see? Fish and meat. That's why y'all smell like fish. You smell like a whole entire polluted ass SeaWorld, you know, because you are from the market. You are for the streets. So you smelling like the streets. You smelling like Thursday garbage. You see? Garbage around my way gets picked up on Thursdays. That's what you smell like. Thursdays, man. For a woman to say I should take myself out the market when, bitch, you ain't even, you shouldn't even be on the market. You see? Your value goes down every time you open your legs to every arrow. You see? Literally, every rod that comes your way and you open yourself to, you become more, you devalue yourself. See, the man, as he gets older, he becomes more valuable. But you women become devalued. That's why your ass will be 30, 40, 50 years old and you're still partying with your girls trying to find another nigga to suck in. All right? You just staring by the window, okay? Like singing Missy Elliott, I can't stand the rain. It's my window. But you turn into a sack of bones looking like Tales from the Crypt. Because you just sitting there trying to look for a good man, but that good man ain't never gonna come. You see? Because you just polluted. You're filthy. Your box been used left to right, wide open catcher's mitt style. Okay. And then when you feel like you're ready to settle down at the age of 40, okay, now I'm ready. I'm ready. I have all this value. Okay. And I'm ready to settle down. When men are looking at you like, what the hell? You're going to always be a tool to them, man. That's why you get disrespected all the time, you know? And we're looking for them young ones. Then you want to get mad. And that's the crazy part. You'll see the moms in competition with their daughters, with the young ones. That shit is so wicked, man. The fact, because as a matter of fact, and then they'll try to go after their daughters, man, their daughter's husband, which that is even more wicked. All right. Especially for the man, because the man is not supposed to find how's that scripture go? They're not supposed to find out, they're roughly paraphrasing it. They're not supposed to find out their mother's nakedness. You see? A woman that has a man, all right, and if she's young, all right, if that man goes and tries to deal with her mother, all right, that shit is wicked as hell, man. You're not supposed to run up on their aunties, none of that, man. You see? Matter of fact, I know the brother gonna put it up through the spirit. All right. So yeah, you're not of the market unless you want to be considered the fish market.
Worthy enough of me to risk my life and lay down and have a child for? Is he worthy enough?
That's what your job is. Keepers at home. Like the brother put in Titus. You're supposed to be keepers at home. You're supposed to be having children. Be fruitful and multiply and take care of your children at home. That's the most beautiful thing when you see a woman taking care of her children, man. You see? And there's a lot of women out there, you know, that let me rephrase that. There's women out there that have kids and they actually take care of their shit, man. You know, they might have got done dirty by some nasty ass nigga, you know, and some of these men will push these women to be, you know, wicked as hell. All right. But still, it's something that you had to pay for through the spirit. Because you might have had a certain thought in the back of your mind, you know, you might have had the thought of folly, which the thought of folly is sin, you know.
To allow him to make me his wife, you know, like you got think about it, right? What she's saying is only a flex if what she was doing was strategy. Because
these women are cooked, bro. They're absolutely cooked. Now, I'm not a fan of the saying to take me through that. I mean, I just think it's a little ghetto, but you can't tell nobody how to celebrate, right? And instead of being happy for her, like women of yesteryear used to be, and then they would just hate on the side, or they would hate silently to their friends. Now they have social media where they can hate openly, and they can say all of the negative things and all of the trash against the woman, and basically they mad as though they know the value that he brings. And obviously she sees
the value in it, which is one of the reasons she participates in his life the way that she does, which is the reason why she's getting married. Meanwhile, set the nose, bull nose ring theory, liberal looking women are sitting there hating on him from the sidelines. It's always gonna happen.
Yeah, her ass look like Bebop and Rocksteady. That's what she looked like. On some real shit. All right. Let's grab this video. I got two videos. All right. And I'll end it up. That's right. The vintage has failed, man. You know, respect has gone out the window. You know, the old ways, the old, what was that called? Chivalry. I believe that's what it's called. Chivalry. You know, a man being able to open the door for a woman and a woman, thank you very much, I appreciate. Man, that shit has gone out the window, man. Now you open the door for a woman. The woman just wants you to open the door so you can look at her ass, and the other niggas right behind you to look at it too. You know? Let's grab this. All right. Give me 1 second. I gotta pull it up. I got one to follow up right with that. All right, explaining. Okay. I'm gonna show you what this brother's about to say of why women ain't shit. Okay, and then I'm gonna follow it up with this is what most of these women look like today. Women killed chivalry. Exactly.
Successful black men are not skipping over black women because of the way that you look. They're skipping over you black women because of the way that you were raised. Let me run that by you again. They are not skipping over to the white women or the Asian women or the Caribbean women or even the African women. We're talking about the Americanized black woman. The reason why these successful men are skipping over you, it's not the way that you look, but it is the way that you carry yourself. These other women, they were conditioned, they are programmed, they are trained to be wise. They are trained to be helpmates. They are trained to be submissive. They are trained to cater to their man. They are trained to be grateful.
And I'll be real with you, straight up, because all the tribes is fucked up. But one of the tribes that I see the most, right, is Asher and Issachar, you know, especially Issachar around my way, right? Them women from a young age, because you don't want to, man, I'll tell you straight up, you don't want to mess with no Issachar father. All right, and disrespect their daughters. They'll stab the shit out your ass in these days. All right, but for me being around a lot of Issachar out here, there's a lot of Asher around here. You know, not Brazilians, but you know, you got not Colombians, Peruvians out here. A lot of Ecuadorians. All right, and don't get it twisted. They have fallen with the bait also, because see, the top tribe is Judah, and when Judah acts a certain way, these other tribes follow. All right, but out of those three that I named, a lot of Ecuadorians, a lot of Issachar, so-called Mexicans, and and what was the other one? Ecuadorians and Peruvians. All right, they are brought up from a young age to learn how to serve a man. You'll see their ass at 10 years old. They cooking up a storm in the kitchen. They over there picking up the house while their mom and their dad is at work working hard. You see? And I'm not saying that hey, all tribes is messed up. All right. But out of those tribes, out of the 12 tribes that I know, okay, those are the ones, okay, that I see that move in a certain manner. And again, and I'm not calling them, you know, they're not perfect. Trust me, they have drank the wine and the philosophy of Babylon the Great also, and they all fucking up. All right, but you see, you can learn a lot from those tribes right there. Okay, and you can learn a lot from those type of women, because I tell you, at 10, 11 years old, they're already cooking in the kitchen. They learning how to be submissive to their mans, and that's why the brother bringing it out in that manner, and that's true. But see, the rest of these tribes, forget about it. They done drank the wine of Babylon, all right, and they walk in, and they're all mini Meg Stallions and you know, Ice Spices and Cardi B's. Okay, Cardi B's, Cardi D's nuts, whatever you want to call her. Okay. Oh, my bad.
Black women in America, they are trained to cater to their man. They are trained to be grateful. They are trained to be appreciative. If you deal with a typical black woman in America, she wants nothing but a whole bunch of things provided for her, and she cannot provide for herself. She requires all of these things that she cannot do for herself. And then when you get one that can do things for herself, she talks down to men as if she's better because she's paying bills and she has a car and she has a credit score, as if that makes her better, when that just makes her an adult.
And the worst, with him saying that, again, if the shoe fits, wear it. I know there's some righteous women out there, but I tell you what, one of the worst be the women that know this truth, because a lot of these women that know this truth, man, when they don't like something, they try to use these scriptures against you. You see, now because they got this knowledge, okay, all right, now they think they somebody. They get proudful, all right, and want to try to throw all these scriptures in your face, and they coming out of line for that shit, man. So beware of a lot of these Israelite women. Again, it ain't all women, all right? Remember, the brothers say a few aquas. Not every woman that has a head wrap on her head is on point. Not every brother that say shalom is on point, okay? You have to beware of these things, all right?
A lot of women that are upset about this post, but it's the truth. It just is what it is.
Matter of fact, let me bring out this scriptures that I'm thinking of right now. This is Proverbs, I think it's the 7th chapter. All right. This is Proverbs, and then I'll bring that last video out. All right, this is Proverbs, the 7th chapter. And whew, it says the wiles of the harlot, right? Another warning about immoral women. All right. It says, my son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live. And my law is as the apple of thine eye. Bind them. All right. As a matter of fact, let me just go down to the point. Oh, well, yeah, let me keep reading. It says, bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart. Yeah, because these precepts are crucial for you, man. This is the way for you to be able to maneuver in society. Okay. And what's about to be said is for you to learn about these women, man, how to creep around these women. You see? Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words. For at the window of my house I looked through my casement, and beheld among the simple ones, I discerned among the youths and a young man void of understanding. All right. Passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house in the twilight, in the evening, in the black of the dark night. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of a harlot, and subtle of her heart, meaning the mind. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. Now is she without, now in the streets. All right, on that market. She in that market, right? And lieth in wait at every corner. So she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face, said unto him, I have peace offerings with me. This day have I paid my vows. Therefore came I forth to meet thee. Diligently to seek thy face, I have found thee. I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry, with carved works, with fine linen of Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love until the morning. Let us solace ourselves with loves. For the good man is not at home. He is gone on a long journey. He has taken a bag of money with him, and will come home at a day appointed. With her much fair speech, she caused them to yield. With the flattering of her lips, she forced them. He goeth after her straightway, as an ox goeth to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks. till a dart strike through his liver, as a bird hasted to a snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life. Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to my words of my mouth. Let not thine heart decline to her ways, go not astray in her paths. For she has cast down many wounded, many strong men have been slain by her. You see? And what's the scripture say, right? That many have gone out of their wits for women. Okay? Many, let me finish this part. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. That was, man, that's some, whew, the Lord was cool with the metaphoric words right there. All right. And that's what happens. You get sweet talk by these women, man. You see? And they make you go off, man. This is second Ezra's. First Ezra's. I believe it's first Ezra's 4. Yeah, first Ezra's 4 and 26. It says, many be there that have run out of their wits for women and became servants for their sakes. Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women. You see, at the end of the day, ain't nothing but straight hell, death waiting for you, man. Sin. And look, man, I ain't want to talk. I've been played. I've walked down that path. I had to learn the hard way. You see, and the Lord bust my ass for that, yo. Had me with the plague of a woman. You see, scriptures say that. Give me any plague but the plague of a woman. You see, had me all fucked up over a piece of shit, basically. You know, but I'm thankful that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua got me out of that. You see, he had to teach me a long lesson. I tell you that. All right. But through the spirit, he done brought me out of that. Then I learned my lesson, you see? And now I'm able to share that wisdom to you, you see? Share that experience, with dealing with these damn women. Okay? Khan, if the shoe don't fit, no need to squeeze. That's right. No need to squeeze the toes in it. You see? Hey, there's a few women out there that is very, very on point, okay? Very submissive, all right, ready to show a man that they are worthy, and you keep doing your job. You keep staying silent, all right? At the end of the day, the Lord gonna link you up with who you need to have in those last days. Just keep having faith. You see, keep praying onto the Lord, and anything that you desire, the Lord's gonna give it to you as long as you ain't wavering in faith. Okay. Now let's play this last one, this last video. All right. That Proverbs chapter 7, that's wisdom too high for a fool. I'm gonna tell you that. That ain't for everybody. They can't understand that one, Mark. This is that last one I got, and this is what most of these women have ended up to be. You see.
My grandma, she asked me today, she was like, you don't have any friends or a boyfriend, anybody to talk to? Like, where do you go when you're not home? And I was like, I buy myself food, and I just sit on a park bench and I draw. That's what I do. Anytime I go outside, that's all I do if I don't go to school. Because I don't have anybody to talk to. I don't even know why I pay my phone bill, because nobody calls or texts me.
There are millions of beautiful women just like this one right here that feel the same exact way as she does.
Man, listen, I ain't even gonna let his ass talk.
Approaching women and starting conversation.
You don't need to talk, all right? It ain't many women. All these women is like that. That's why these women have to party. This is why they gotta go suck on rods all day, you see? Because they don't know what love is. They don't know how to love. You see, they done got smacked with Esau's philosophy so bad that they forgot how to be an actual woman to a man, you see? And that's why you see them. Believe it or not, these women you see in the club, they having a good ass time in the club. They smiling, they dressed up all cute and all that shit, which is all fake anyway. But I tell you, when these women go home at night, these women is crying themselves to sleep. while while the other woman that's that ain't so beautiful, right? They winning. They getting what they need. You see, because you wanted to be wicked all your life. You wanted to open your leg and be that doorknob and let everybody take a turn, right? And now at the age of 30, 40, and 50, you want to settle down and expect men to be like, yeah, I'm going to settle down with you. Yeah, you're so valuable to me. You're so worth it. Okay? Most of these men, look at the men that have women. These niggas is trying to kill themselves. Do you know how high the suicide rate of married women, married men are? Go look it up. A lot of men be killing themselves, man, because what these women be doing. You see, they wicked as hell. All right, and the ones that are lonely, all right, is because the Lord he done turned them curses that are on the men. He done put it on the women now. You see, Shalom, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatah. You see, yeah, they keep believing the serpent. That's what it is. It's really the social media, bro. This social media has destroyed relationships, has destroyed lives, has destroyed the woman all the way around, yo. They have no more morals. The music they listen to is so trash, and it has such a heavy stronghold and demon on it that the moment they hear it, you'll see them act like that damn song they just heard. You see? And at the end of the day, that's why they get drunk as hell. What happens when you drink too much? A lot of people, they get sad. Some people get angry. Usually the men get angry, right? And the woman gets sad as hell and they just start complaining, And then by them being drunk as hell, you make what? You make bad decisions. You see? With much wine comes much bad decisions. Simple as that. Okay? That's why wine is a mocker, as the scriptures say. Now you start mocking your man. Now you get loose with the mouth. Oh, you ain't shit, nigga. You ain't nobody. I could go find better. I'd rather deal with your boy. I could go find me a man right now. That's what one of the women that I was dealing with in this truth said to me. Oh, you know how many people in my DMs now? Wicked as hell. Here it was, I had trust in her ass, and the whole time she got a bunch of niggas in her DMs on some bugged out shit. This is why women can't be trusted. The best women are the most silent women, man. If not, they won't even come out on comment boards and shit. And I'm not referring to the sister on my comment board. I'm just using as an example. Okay. The most silent one are the ones that are going to be saved in these last days, man, because they just sitting there listening. Man, they just might come out with a little shalom and that's it. All right. But you'll see women jump on the comment board, say all this extra shit. All right. Once I see too much extra shit, I already know what it is, man. The best thing for you to do is just stay silent, just learn. All right. And keep praying. Keep praying that the Lord deliver you, come and bring you a man of the Lord. All right. In the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay. You got women out here, they're all over social media trying to post themselves because they're trying to search for a man. They're trying to open that. They're trying to draw that attention, And then they want to put all their business out on the fucking web. Like, who the fuck cares, man? Who cares at the end of the day? Okay. We see that you're just attention seeking, man. And a lot of these women just paranoid because of what's about to happen. They see that this place is crumbling and they get in that and they get in their own feelings and they realize, damn, I haven't found a man of the Lord yet. See, you're already wavering in the faith. You see? Because you shouldn't be worried about that. Next thing you know, they find one that has somewhat truth, and then they find something they don't like in him. Then, oh, no, this ain't the one. This ain't the one. Let me go to this one. Let me go to run to one from this camp. Because that camp is popping, or let me run to this camp. Man, listen, none of that shit matters, man. Okay, the Lord gonna set you up with who you need to be set up with in these last days when that time comes. Okay? A lot of brothers might have wives in this truth, and they might lose those wives when that time comes because they're going to turn into Lot's wife. You see, and look back. Or when shit really hits that fan and that furnace is turned up, all right, and that heat is on, they can't deal with it. They can't hold out. They don't forgot everything they learned. You see? So the best thing is to just, hey, remain silent. That's right. All you women that are operating in humility, hey, man, kudos to you. You see? Best believe the Lord gonna hook you up in that time. If you women got men, all right, and they wicked as hell, best believe the Lord gonna put their ass out, okay? But at the same time, remember the scripture say was that 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter, all right, that the unbelieving husband could be saved by the believing woman and vice versa. You see? But I know through the spirit that a lot of these women, there are some women out there that have men that are not in the truth, okay, or vice versa. They're going to be taken, well, it can't go vice versa, but for the women that have men, all right, and they dealing with some bullshit, okay, listen, the Lord going to put that nigga out at one point, and he going to lead you to a man of the Lord, because that's how he has to put him out, because he has to do it in righteousness, so that woman can't move on until her husband dies. You see, or he gives that bill of divorce. And what he's going to do is he's going to take that man out the way, and he's going to lead you to a man of the Lord. You see? And then for you men that have no women, hey, man, just stay strong, man. Paul said it is best that a man touch not a woman. You see? And there's a reason for that. Matter of fact, I'll read that and I'll end it with that. Okay? 1 Corinthians. All right? 7 and 1. It says, now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Yeah, abstain from a woman, man. Because that could be your doom. When you deal with a woman, you tend to make that woman happy. Same thing with a woman dealing with a man. You tend to make that man happy. And you're supposed to be without distraction. You're supposed to be attending to the Lord without distraction. You see? Let's jump down a little bit. All right, get a couple of these precepts in here. Right? It says, where did I want that? This is 11. It says 10. It says, but unto the married I command ye not, I, but the Lord Yahushai, let not the wife depart from her husband, and if she departed, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife. But to the rest speak I, not the Lord Yahushai, if any brother have a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. You see? And the woman which has a husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy. But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases, but Yahweh has called us to peace. You see? At the end of the day, it's because the Lord, gave you peace for you to be able to what? Attend to the Lord without distraction, as the brother got right there. That's the spirit. You see? It says, for what knowest thou? As a matter of fact, let me go down. Yeah, there's a certain one I wanted. Let's grab it from 25. It says, now concerning virgins, I have no commandment of the Lord Yahushua, yet I give my judgment as one that has obtained the mercy of the Lord Yahushua to be faithful. Yeah, through what? Through experience, basically. Okay. It says, I suppose, therefore, that it is good for the present distress. I say that it is good for a man so to be. Art thou bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loosed. Art thou loosed from a wife? Seek not a wife. But if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. And if a virgin marry, she has not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you. You see? So if you got a wife, man, you got to act like you ain't got a wife in this truth, man. Not saying that you don't love your woman. Hell yeah, you're going to love your woman. But Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai comes first, man. You see? That was one of the things I went through with the one chick in this truth. You know? I'm out here wasting time 8 hours a day talking to this chick on the phone, being a whole damn demon when I could have been attending to the Lord instead. You know, wasting time, wasting precious time at that. You know, it says, art thou bound to a wife? Seek not to be loosed. Okay. Yeah. See, if you already have a man of the Lord or a man that's a woman that's in this truth, man, try not to depart from each other, man. Make it work. Okay. Because it's special to have that. You know, you're supposed to teach each other. All right. Well, the man really supposed to teach the woman, but you can learn something from these women also, man, because it's a balance. It's a perfect balance. A woman. All right. A man is a woman's balance. A woman is a man's balance. You see? And it could go vice versa. You see? It says, but let's read that one again. But, and if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. And if a virgin marry, she has not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh. But I spare you. But this I say, brethren, that the time is short. And this is why you have to attend to the Lord without distraction, because it's, hey, the devil's about to come on us with great wrath because he has but a short time. So time is short on this side, man. Right? It says that both they that have wives be as though they had none, and they that weep as though they weep not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not, and they that use this world and is not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. But I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried careth for the things that belong to the Lord Yahweh Shai. See, that's why the Lord wants you by yourself, man, whether it be a man or a woman. Okay. How he may please the Lord Yahweh Shai. But he that is married careth for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. There is a difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman, the unmarried woman careth for the things of the Lord Yahweh Shai, that she may be holy both in body and in spirit. But she that is married careth for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. You see? And this I speak for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you. He ain't casting a snare upon you, but he letting you know it's going to be a snare. You see? As the scriptures tell you what? And Ecclesiastes 7, right? It tells you what? That the woman is snares and nets. You see? That's all a woman is snares and nets. Okay? And the way these men are today, these men act like fucking women. All right? So for you women, all right, it's a snare onto you. Because these niggas is effeminate as hell. You see? It says, and this I speak for you, for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is comely, and that ye may attend upon the Lord without distraction. You see? Let me see how it ends. And that's pretty much the point. Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. You see? So, man, it is a reason why the Lord wants you to be alone, you know, so you can dedicate your whole entire time to the Lord and make your election and calling sure. You see? Dealing with these women, all right, or trying to find a man, all right, it's just trouble in the flesh. That's all it is. It's literally trouble waiting down your alley. You know, can some duke it out and are able to deal with it? Yeah. But again, you're gonna have trouble in the flesh, man. You see? So the Lord wasn't wrong when he gave you these scriptures, man. He gave them to you for a reason. You know, he wants you to be head in these scriptures, head diving head first into these scriptures at all times. Because the moment you depart from the word, man, you're departing from your maker. You see, you become idle, and with much idleness, it teaches you what? It teaches you evil, man. You start growing a brain and attempting to do shit that you don't need to be doing. You see? And then the flesh gets the best of you. Remember, Satan always trying to sift you and sift you away from the truth. And that's one of the main ways that he gets us, because he knows that the opposite sex, all right, is how it's supposed to be. You see? There's nothing more that we want than a righteous woman, and a woman that's in the truth wants that righteous man, you know? But in these times, it just ain't the time for it, man, at the end of the day. Because it could be your doom, you know? This is Philippians 4:8, and it says, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of a good report, okay? If there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. Beautiful scripture. Yapa. You see? Everything written aforetime was written for our learning, so we don't make those same mistakes. Because remember, we're coming back as our forefathers in reincarnation. You see, you women are coming back in reincarnation, right? If you're of the elect, you are those elect women, you know, that always turn back to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. So all these accounts are to be remembered at the end of the day for your own benefit. Not that the Lord trying to cast these snares upon you, because he want nothing better than us to all be in our right state of mind, doing righteously, rehearsing the righteous acts, so we can have mercy and salvation. Okay? But that's the key. Mercy and salvation. And in order for you to get that mercy and salvation, all right, you have to put down these things, man. As the scriptures say, right? Let me grab this, right? This is Ecclesiasticus 18 and 30. It says, go not after the lusts, but refrain from thine appetite. Refrain thyself from thy appetites, you see? And that's what happens when we deal with people, man. That lust kicks in, all right? Hey, man, it's hard to get around that shit, man. You know, you start sipping a little wine with somebody, you know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, you just caught up in that mode. You see? So we have to refrain from our appetites for a reason, man, to attend to the Lord without distraction, man. All right? But that's pretty much the point. So, hey, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. The Akim and the Akwat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith and doing as good soldiers of Yahweh Shai. Shalom. Hey, Shalom, Malak, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah, the water for the precepts. Shalom.